Hey friends, Cory here for the very first ever Cory's Drum Takes Hot Take Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about something very near and dear to me, not only as a drummer and musician, but also as an engineer, producer, arranger, which is finding that balance between creating a drum part for an original song that really serves the song and on the other hand is exciting and has some character and really inserts yourself into it. I found when I talk to drummers, they fall in those two camps, and sometimes they even take it to the extreme. Some drummers will say, I want to just play and I just want to serve the song, and they'll find the simplest thing that they can possibly play that will provide a good foundation for the song, and they'll never try to push it beyond that. And that's okay. You can definitely find some work playing like that. There are plenty of records that have extraordinarily simple drum parts, and there's nothing wrong with that. On the other hand, you will have drummers who just overplay and they get in the way of the rest of the arrangement. Those are the guys who, in a 4-bar pattern, they'll play 3 bars of groove and 1 bar of fill and then just repeat it. And they're hitting crash cymbals on every downbeat. And every hi-hat groove's got tons of 30-second notes in it like it's a trap beat or something. And that can really be distracting and really overshadow other very important elements of the song. And we don't want to do that. So we've got to find that balance where, on the one hand, we don't feel like we're just sitting underneath the arrangement, letting the musicians do the music thing. We might be drummers, but we are musicians too, right? And we need to carve out a little bit of space for ourselves sometimes, Maybe find some creative ways to accentuate or highlight what the guitars are doing or what the vocalist is doing. Or maybe find a spot where there isn't much of anything going on and make that little spot our own without distracting from the arrangement. So I'm going to get behind the kit and I am going to show you the different sort of evolution, the drum part that I created for the Fuzz Huzzi song, Watch You Die. So when we recorded this song, we were all together in this room just sort of jamming on this riff. David Patton, our guitarist at the time, had brought in this riff, and it was kind of based off of 16th note subdivision. So he's kind of playing this. And so my initial thought was stay really out of his way, keep things very sparse, serve the song, allow all the room in the world for David to do his thing, because that's the most important part of the arrangement when it's going on. And then when it's not going on, there's vocals, and that's the most important part of the arrangement. So I was feeling like maybe there's not a lot of space for me to get super creative, so I started playing it like this. And that worked. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it, except it felt like I was sort of dragging the arrangement down a little bit. It's a high energy, pretty aggressive song, and me staying out of the way was not bringing it home. It was just sort of holding it back. So I thought, what if I started hitting the E's of 1 and 3 on the kick drum, giving it like sort of a da-da sound? It might make it a little heavier, a little more important sounding. So I switched over to this groove. I hear the bass player start locking in. I'm like, yeah, that right foot thing, that's gonna work out good. But is there any way I can sort of accentuate those 16th notes that David is playing in the main guitar riff? What would happen if I just started playing all of them on the hi-hat. So, we're just still jamming along, and I'm trying out a few different things, and I started playing this. And I'm like, that's cool, but the hi-hat and his guitar are both kind of focused in on that upper mid-range, so it's a little bit too much. It's like too much all in the same space, and I'm sort of masking all the cool stuff that he's doing. I'm drawing too much attention away from that guitar. But I really liked the 16th notes. It was really driving. The groove felt like it was faster. The song is not particularly fast. It's only 85 BPM. But when I switched over to those 16th notes, it just felt like it moved a little bit more. Again, it made it feel a little bit more aggressive, maybe a touch on the ominous side, and I really liked that for this particular song. So I was thinking about, as we're playing, I'm thinking about, like, how can I do that? So I decided to try a linear pattern, meaning that no two drums hit at the same time, and just playing the and us on the hi-hats. And it sounds like this. As soon as I started with that groove, I just felt the whole band just fall into place. Everything was just cooking. So just to show you really quick the evolution of the part, starting from the real simple thing where I began trying to work out my arrangement, all the way to the different evolutions that I did that resulted in what eventually became the groove that wound up on the record. That just got really creative and really fun without getting in the way. As you can see, everything really changes from that really simple groove to adding a couple more elements to maybe overdoing it a little bit and then pulling it back and finding something unique and different that doesn't sound like every other rock and roll drum pattern that you're going to find out there. And I was able to take that song and really develop my own musical percussive voice. And even though I'm playing the exact same subdivisions as I was before when I added kind of everything in, I'm doing it in such a way that's not distracting from what the guitar's doing or what the vocals are doing. And the added bonus is it sounds cooler than just the straight 16th notes on the hi-hats. So I was able to really maximize the ability to be a part of the music rather than just sit underneath the music, while at the same time making sure to give extra room to all of the top elements, like that lead guitar riff and the vocals when they came in. All right, I'm Cory Wilkins, and this was the first ever Hot Takes Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Get behind that kit. If you're working in an original band, think about these things. Really listen, use your ears when you're writing new material with your bandmates, and come up with amazing drum parts that don't step on anything else.